Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the MI podcast. So today in this live podcast, we'll discuss about social media optimization. So as we've entered this new year with new hope and new expectations, we as marketers, we have to look at social media in terms of the tools, techniques, and all. What is relevant at the moment? What can we use that will connect with the audiences? So in terms of social media, we'll look at certain trends that are there that we need to kind of keep in mind in terms of the direction that we are going in terms of our marketing per se. So just listed down a few of these optimization tools or techniques. It's more, I would say, in terms of at a strategy level, uh, than a tactical level, and it's more for an kind of an understanding, because that's the first thing. I mean, you have to be at the right place, have the right vision, and only then you can achieve your particular marketing goals. So firstly, we have kind of now formally entered a stage where social media per se, audience in terms of, and the followers and all, I wouldn't say would have that much level of importance, because I mean, earlier you would just look at, you have targets also of increasing following on certain platforms, and making sure that whatever happens, we get a particular follower on a particular channel. So I think now it's more about you building that particular audience. So audience would, how would you think it's different from your followers would be, the ones who are invested in you. You have a WhatsApp community for them. You have, they're part of your email list. So basically the reach outs that happen, go directly to them. So the way social media, is designed, people are not going to kind of read, they are following hundreds of people. There are a lot of things, they're interested in, and they are doing with the social media platform. But you having a direct connection is if they invest, they take the next step, they join your email list or your community, an online and offline community. A lot of people in the gaming world, like you'll have Discord, groups within that. You'll even have seen there are places like Telegram where you will have a particular. So it is moving to the next stage because the platforms are unstable, but an audience which you have built, that cannot be unstable in terms of that, because that is we are part of the social media world where it takes a lot of effort to build a particular audience. So it cannot, you rely on followers of a particular platform. You should have that owned platform of yours. So basically, in short, social media, it becomes the top of the funnel and not the business. um, because if you see, followers are rented, but the relationships that you have with your particular audience or customers, that has to be owned by you. So when you look at personality of yours, like that is at a higher level than a production. That is the reason why so many homegrown creators today, they have become so big without the huge production value from, say, a media company. You can just on their particular camera, and they have connected so much to the audience. So um, today it's becoming even more like, I mean, now a brand cannot even expect to build a following or something. People are not following brands at all. You're following humans. So even today when you look at branded content, it is being associated with a particular content creator, and then you're creating a piece. Very rarely now you see a fully branded content without any known name, in general, a famous person or somebody in the online world. So the reason is like people, they um, like to follow only humans with opinions, voice, and values. And today in the AI age, it's even more, because AI content can be created so easily and at such scale that people are kind of however good it might be, they're able to identify it and then they disconnect from it. So your brand basically, in terms of a company, if you're posting for it, it should sound like a person. Like TLZ content was out of it for a long time, but like you should have a clear POV. You should have a strong narrative, like what are you trying to say, a consistent kind of tone, some kind of a brand voice happening, and also participating in certain public discussion, which in till a few years back, a lot of companies used to shy away from, but today they are being part of those discussions, and if they are done wisely, then they build a stronger connection with their particular brand advocates. So always, if you see uh, your perfectly edited something, it loses to, if you have an authentic energy, like a perfect editing and all. If you create a particular, say, a video also, an authentic video, most of the time it'll connect more with the audience. That is what they are kind of looking on. So for marketers, I mean, it's a kind of an important thing where, how do you make this, like, let's not focus too much on a particular production and focus on the connection that is there. So that we kind of look at going forward with that. Your communities today are much greater than if you look at mass variety. I mean, there was a discussion in the marketing advertising world, like they used to look at things going viral. Obviously, like that is the ultimate um, you know um, this thing of success, like a measure. So I think it would now beat it, because you're looking at those conversions with just mass parity, somebody just looking at your particular post and then forgetting what is not what you want, a more personal connect with that. So intimate relevance has to be there with your particular content. So people are looking at, like, when you are seeing that shift where even they're going to a nano influencers. Nano influencers would be somebody like, say, followings of less than 10K on the various major social media platforms. So even if somebody's following of 1,000, can be better if somebody's following of 50,000 if they have the correct kind of user. Then how you can judge that as a marketer is more of obviously engagement. When they are coming live, how many people are joining them, how many are connecting on that, uh, how much of chatter they um, this thing through their content, because people now make clippings and all of the posts, and also how much of that happens. So your niche, I would say, in especially most products, it will be niche than really huge brands. um, is greater than, I would say, a scale of things you see, because we have to use the relevant, and even more important when you are a smaller brand with limited budget. So your trust will always be considered more than a particular reach. And I mean, with the paid and bot followers, and bots are even able to give fake comments and that kind of thing. We have to be careful in that whole. So we have to look at more small loyal tribes when it comes to say the influencers also we are working with. So the goal is basically to become indispensable to a very specific audience. So that is what is the brands, they feel that that should be the direction that they're going in. So AI is the intern, and you are the creative director. Basically, AI is the one who will be doing tasks. AI is not replacing the particular marketer. This is what it's going to do. It'll be just, you can use it more for editing, your writing, your designing of it, or an analysis. But then it cannot replace the human element which an experienced marketer has, where it has its particular taste which will suitable to the TG, its judgment that it has. You have a cultural kind of an intuition where you look at what is suitable for a certain set of people, what is not. and then the emotional quotient, that is, or you can call it emotional intelligence, that a human being has more. So these things will, where you are, the role is, within, as a creative director, that is something which you should look at. So AI can, you can just use it for execution, but your human brain will give it the particular direction. So content obviously now is becoming more and more complex, because with all these AI tools, that it's easier to produce content and put it out there in different forms, repurpose it. So you there should be a kind of a focus on what my content is trying to achieve. So is it doing good for brand building? It can be lead generation. Am I doing a community engagement? um, am I positioning myself in certain way? Is it like just a pure conversion related, like a sales related kind of something I'm selling on that related a post? So uh, we have to look at, this can have, you can have multiple these, if you call all these boxes, you could even tick multiple of those boxes, but these boxes have to be there where you put your particular content. So if, in a larger scheme of things, when you have a content strategy, all of these would come under these content buckets per se, and a content bucket, what is the objective more than that? Like, I'm trying to say this or put this or promote this. That is kind of have to be clear. The strategy, like never before, has to be clearer in this new year. And how do we, put it? So, but overall, what should be my content strategy? Like, are all bases being covered? That's very important, because things are not only being Googled today; they are being searched on Chat GTP, or you have your Gemini. So you have to have very well-rounded content that has been discovered by these particular AI chatbots, and then you can, reach the right people that have to. End of the day, I think from day one also it has been that storytelling, long term way, it always wins. They audience, like never before, they are switching off to advertising. You have to have a proper story strategy for them, not like just, if you just call it campaigns per se. So you can look at that when you look at, storytelling series wise thing. You design content as, different kind of episodes, and you have a series. So it just gives it more context in it, and people like to then follow that whole story of the person. If brands have, like within the video content, they have, you have a particular character, you will show the journey, challenges, what kind of growth it had, and what is the philosophy. So it's kind of a, very well rounded. You need a story writer or something within a very good writing skill, and the importance is like never before. The people who can write great stories today, there is huge demand for them. Even in the mainstream marketing of company, not just your ad agencies, or you have in, say, the movie industry or something. So it would be really, the importance is like, never before. So few of the things which I feel that will help in the social media optimization. So I hope this kind of helped you all, in this particular process of, it's very exciting times, in social media. We have so many different, AI tools and elements, and also I feel, it's how you use these tools and take it in a, a positive sense of the way, than, AI is, replacing this and that. It is actually, as I mentioned, it's the intern. It's, you are the creative, you are the director. So you have to use these things. So competition will be there. Everyone would be using these tools. Is how you use them better to be more human and connect with your audiences. So yeah, in a nutshell, if I could kind of communicate that. Let's take a few Q&As, which I kind of shortlisted. Is just, um, is it still possible to grow organically without spending on ads? That's an interesting question because if you see these platforms, how they've begun and how they're designed, is extremely hard. I mean if you just leave, you cannot leave it. Like, everyone enters a particular this industry, or your marketing or your content creator, whatever, you are looking at certain kind of results and return on your. So if you are just doing as like a hobby, or you like expressive, that's fine. Obviously you don't want to spend on anything, because you're not like having targets of growth or reaching people or conversions or whatever. But if you are doing it professionally, you have to somewhere or the other, unless you're very lucky and initial of your content that it hits off, and you all you know reach the right audience, you get virality, whatever. But there'll be 0.01% of people who will be doing. For rest of us, basically, we use a strategy where you are reaching the right audience. Like, your content is designed for, you should be able to define your audience, and then try to advertise a little bit, spend a little money reaching that audience, say on YouTube via promotion or Instagram and all. And basically, because the problem with the social media is, unless you have that level of reach, you are not even a niche, you're not going to reach your target audience, right? So if you can push and reach uh, with whatever forms of advertising that are there digitally today, it's better to use that. So very unlikely to grow organically today's day and age, with amount of competition that is out there. So I would suggest that some kind of paid strategy also has to be there. Awesome. So great. How do we actually convert followers into customer? So that is the whole deal, that you can have followers. People just like your personality or the way you speak, or whatever is your content. But then that some way or the other should, in the long term, look at making a customer. So many people, they start off with, like, I'm just, if you're talking about content creators, it is as a hobby, and they hit it off, and then slowly they build a huge audience, and then they look at monetizing some kind of product or anything, like, to launch, or some kind of uh, general monetization technique, could be like consultancy, or talking about strategy, or meetups, or whatever. So um, that is at a much, I would say, a later stage in it. Your focus should be to obviously get more and more people your content for free, and access to that, and reach the right kind of audience. um, kind of analyze your audience, like, is are you getting a decent amount of engagement? uh, you have these today tools, like, people can like DM you. A lot of content creators, brands are using that, campaigns where you actually, or videos where you actually have to DM to get some extra information or something more personalized. So once you see there's a huge amount of traction within that, then you can look at that, that is one particular customer of them, that person is ready to invest some money within me, because he is kept me at a certain level that he's ready to pay for that. So he is like a brand advocate per se. So that is a kind of a long term thing. And this is obviously statement, this is what eventually everybody wants, right? That your followers become your customers at a huge scale. But this is a very, I mean, long term thing. You need to work at it step by step, and go forward. So I wish you all your best in the journey as brand marketer or content creator. Awesome. So I think these were the questions. Thank you so much for joining me for this particular live podcast here. If you all can, go to my particular YouTube channel, modern that is Modern Intelligence. You can subscribe for all these podcasts there. Also, these podcasts, they are available on all the podcast network, so you can go out there and subscribe to it. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you until the next time. Take care.